Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about good friends versus new friends versus acquaintances. And it all started when I was thinking about housework because we're going to be having some friends over in the next little bit, and I was thinking, okay, I need to get the house sort of sorted because I still have pockets of stuff from when I moved stuff up from Toronto. And I thought, okay, depending on who the friends are, depends on how much I clean, which is, probably not a good thing. But if you're a really close friend and you're coming over for a cup of tea, I mean, yeah, I'll vacuum up the dog fur and stuff like that. And, the house is relatively clean. But I'm not overly concerned if I don't get to dusting, or I'm not overly concerned if, the dog just had a biscuit and there's crumbs on the floor or whatever. Like it's, you're coming over to see me. If you're coming over to see my house, then we're not friends. And then, but people get over for the first time to your house, I feel like I do like a deeper dive, right? Because they haven't been to your house before, so they're a little bit curious about, where you hang out. And, with me, like they might see me online, so they sort of want to see the space that I'm in line with. And then, God forbid, they should want to come into my studio, which is like a disaster at the best of times. So, I take a bit more care. And if they're acquaintances, it depends on the acquaintance. I had to clarify that in my own head for a second. Because if they're an acquaintance that is somebody that has influence over, like say it was this is a bad example because my husband and I are both self-employed, but say it was like you're having your boss over for dinner. Well, then I would probably go above and beyond to clean up for my boss. Unless my boss was also my friend, in which case, but like if you're trying to impress somebody, if you're trying to put your best foot forward, that's what I would do. But if it's just, I don't mean just, because they are the best people, but if it's, like a close friend or it's somebody that, doesn't have any influence over you in any way, shape, or form, then chances are it won't be quite as deep a dive. So that's where my head went this morning. It was like, okay, so who am I really going to clean the house for? And who do I need to start now to clean the house for? And we had this lovely fire pit in the backyard. Maybe we can just entertain out there. Anyway, but then that started getting me thinking about, this worry, in quotation marks, of impressing people. Because at the end of the day, I am who I am. My husband is who he is. And if you're coming to judge our character based on our house, then there's a bigger issue at hand. And if you're my boss, I need to find a new job. Because, but yeah, so it's funny how things change in our minds depending on what's in front of us or who is in front of us, or yeah, like it's funny. So like, I keep the house clean enough that if somebody just suddenly dropped by, they wouldn't be worried about being able to sit down, or they can come in and, like, I tell everybody to come in and keep their shoes on. We have industrial grade laminate flooring because we had two big dogs. We have one left now. And so we put down industrial because there was no point putting down hardwood because it would have been destroyed, the very first day. So yeah. So I just say to everybody, leave your shoes on, unless like they're covered in mud or whatever. But since we got our driveway paved, that's not the case anymore. Yay. This is our first spring that we've actually not been tracking mud through the house, which is lovely. Anyway, those are my random thoughts for the day. I just thought I'd share that with you. But think about, influence and pleasing people and, what you would do for one person over another and why. Those are all very valid thoughts to have and things to ruminate over. And that's it for today. Have a great one, everyone.